This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. And let me tell you, when I sit down after a long day's work, getting up nice and early, getting to work at 7:30, and I get home and I see, damn, you know what, it's time to get home to the Oilers stuff and get a video up and that kind of thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Oilers put out for press conferences, news conferences, that kind of thing in the day. And nearly most of the time I'm looking at a 4 or 5 minute interview to mull over, kind of get my news for the day and get a video up. However, today, Dave Tippett out on the golf course, looking really good. I believe it was the golf course, yeah. So the Oilers charity golf tournament, sorry, pardon me, I skipped over that and went right into what he was talking about. The thing is, he had a 9-minute, almost 10-minute little press conference there, media scrum, whatever you want to call it, with a lot of the Oilers media, kind of getting the general gist of where he's at with the preseason, the mentality coming into training camp, and the outlook after camp, right? That where camp's going to kind of lead him, not necessarily in terms of games played, that kind of deal, kind of the overarching themes for what he sees for the Oilers this season. So with that, I am going to split this video actually into two videos, two sections. I'm going to go on the forward side of things because I have a lot to talk about there. And then on the defense and goaltending side, I'll get that up a little bit later. But we'll talk it in two separate pieces because it is definitely good to separate it and kind of get a look at what we're talking about when Dave Tippett looks at the forward core, the penalty kill, that kind of stuff for the Edmonton Oilers, and then what he's looking at in defense and goaltending terms, because there were some good little quotes from him when it comes to the defense. All right, let's get on with it. I shall waste no more time. We shall get into it and try not to be as chopped up as that Evan Bouchard-Chris Pronger comparison video yesterday, which if you haven't done, go check that out because there's a lot of heated debate down there in the comments section. It's a good one. So with the forwards, that's where we're going to start. That's what this video is going to be about. And the number one thing Dave Tippett talked about in his press conference right off the top is that bottom six. Obviously, guys, the running joke all off season long has been the Oilers have more bottom six forwards than they have top six forwards since 2010. Kind of deal. To summarize it, that's not exactly the joke as it stands, but if I were to summarize kind of what the deal with the bottom six is, that is how it looks at this point. So with that, what Dave Tippett is hoping to build for the Edmonton Oilers out of that bottom six, no matter who fits that line, each line kind of deal, he's looking for one heavy line and one quicker line. The quip here on it is both lines playing special minutes, right? Penalty kill minutes, but he's got to find the fit for each line and each player. That is the big key when it comes to building this top six or bottom six. And this bottom six, the key I think is when you're talking about a heavy line and you're talking about a quick line, is suddenly you've got guys in that mix. Joakim Nygard, Josh Archibald, you've got Thomas Shurko, you've got Gaetan Oss, you've got Marcus Granlund, Sam Gagner, you've got Jujhar Khaira, you've got Zach Kassian, you've got guys galore down there. I'm forgetting more, but we'll get to them, right? Riley Sheehan. There are guys all over the place. And if you have to talk about lines that are going to take that quicker approach, guys that are going to take that heavier approach, obviously what I'm looking at here is maybe we're looking at the top six all wrong. Maybe it's not McDavid, Draisaitl, Kassian like it was at the end of last year. Maybe indeed it is actually Kassian, Jujhar Khaira back together on the fourth line with a centerman in either Haas or maybe a Riley Sheehan or somebody else. We don't exactly know quite yet. A Joe Gambardella for all we know, fitting in there and getting that job done, right? Obviously there's a little bit of something maybe in the mix that we haven't read that Dave Tippett is looking into in camp. The key also, he did mention Brad Malone is a guy he kind of likes. And that's scary to me as an Oilers fan because Brad Malone's played all these games as an Oiler and has like 3 points total or something stupidly ridiculous. But he also hasn't played a lot of big minutes and hasn't played with very good teammates when trying to score points and goals. So maybe we see something in camp develop that we haven't seen out of Brad Malone in years. So hands off, leave it to be, and we'll find out where we end up. So that's kind of the bottom six plan. Now, obviously, if you're going to start talking about shaping that bottom six, the other conversation you got to have is shaping that top six. And one guy that's going to push for a spot, Dave Tippett says so, is Tyler Benson. Now, obviously, Tyler Benson was good in the first rookie game, but if you're going to be Tyler Benson trying to make the Edmonton Oilers from rookie camp to main camp to NHL roster spot on October 2nd, the problem is you got to score in rookie camp. And that's what nobody for the Oilers did in rookie camp game number 1 in Red Deer against Calgary. But he did still look good, so give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him a second chance tomorrow. And we'll find out what the Oilers can feature against Calgary tomorrow night. And hopefully Tyler Benson shows even better than he did game 1. And we start to see what we're hoping to see in main camp for Tyler Benson. Now the thing here is, with Tyler Benson and with every single Edmonton Oilers forward this season, what Dave Tippett is looking for, number one key, is Dave Tippett is looking for players to execute in traffic. And when I hear that, when I hear those words echoed by the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, the same Edmonton Oilers that re-signed Alex Chiasson on July 1st, ladies and gentlemen, that, my friends, is why I believe Alex Chiasson was re-signed. If that's going to be the coaching philosophy from Dave Tippett, is offensively, you've got to execute in traffic. Right there alone, bing, bang, bada boom. You guys got yourselves one guy that can do it, proved it last year, and maybe that's how Alex Chiasson repeats last year, is simply fitting the system, fitting the mantra Mr. Dave Tippett wants to play. Now, the one thing I can get into defense, we're going to not talk about that. We're going to go with the 60-40 split of Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid together that was projected last year. Well, it's going to be probably about the same this year, is what Dave Tippett was saying in his press conference. And the big key there is the fact that he also said they will see time apart. So is it a situational dictation? No. And what it is if a player pushes Draisaitl down, we're going to see somebody else on that top line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sounds so gorgeous to me. How long has it been since a player earned, fought, clawed his way up to the top line and unseated Leon Draisaitl? Not got placed up there because he needed a spark, or right, not the crappy kind of Milan Lucic approach the Oilers have taken for the past 3 years. No, this one is an actual production-based results for Dave Tippett and the first line with Connor McDavid. That mint. And that still also opens up the door of possibility to Draisaitl playing with with Nugent Hopkins, which, guys, you know I'm all about, because you look at what they do on the power play together. I'm telling you, 5-on-5, there's something there. And then let's get down. The big key number we need to hone in on that I haven't done yet on the forward group is number 97. Basically, the plan between Ken Holland, the trainers, Dave Tippett, everybody involved in the Oilers organization is to basically manage McDavid as he goes along. Combo rehab it, right? Everybody's involved. Everybody wants what's best for McDavid and what will do him best throughout the process of training camp. So rehab him to make him feel comfortable and ready to go. The quote here is, we'll be cautious with him. It's continued on a little bit later. We're not going to put him in a bad situation. Which, guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever followed the Oilers outside of this offseason and this training camp that's beginning, and you're sitting here being like, oh man, that really actually hits home as a good thing, that's because it is. Because usually the knock against the Oilers is they put players in bad situations. And that is music to my ears. Now, if that proves true, we'll find out. But for right now, music to my ears, I'm good with it. The last thing we have here is a little bit on Nygaard and Haas. What I mean by that, that's what Dave Tippett knows. He knows a little bit. He knows they're both good skill with, speed, with a lot of speed. But the key here is the fact that they will play a lot of exhibition games So the Oilers have a couple exhibition games on the calendar for mid-September. They'll play a lot of them to adjust, to figure out what the Oilers have in them, and see what we can do about them. So guys, that's where I'm going to leave this one. That's all about the forwards from Dave Tippett's little newser today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. You can view the newser. I believe it'll be on the Oilers YouTube channel. It's already on Twitter, so make sure to go check that out. And let's get in the comments and start discussing all about this, and I'll get working in between replying to comments on the next video about the defense side of things for Dave Tippett and the Edmonton Oilers. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I will catch you in the next one.